Hello and a very warm welcome to the second edition of the Solar Impulse webcast. Today we will not only lead you through the next steps of the Solar Impulse flight across America, but we will also introduce a couple of new information to you. Together with me in the studio are people from R&D that are actually integrated into the Solar Impulse construction and electronic team, as well as product experts that will give us further explanation about the solar elevator, its market introduction and its features. With this, I'd like to lead over to the actual mission and see where the Solar Impulse plane is at the moment.
On May 3, Solar Impulse started their Across America mission flight. Flying coast to coast across the United States has always been a mythical endeavor in aviation history. Achieving this in a solar airplane capable of flying day and night without fuel shows the enormous potential of clean technologies in terms of energy efficiency and renewable energy use. With this adventure, Solar Impulse wants to inspire and motivate as many people as possible to embrace the pioneering spirit that allowed this revolutionary solar-powered airplane to become a reality. After an 18-hour and 18-minute flight from Southern California over the Mojave National Preserve and into Arizona, the plane HBSIA landed at Phoenix's Sky Harbor International Airport on May 4, the first of 5 stops. From there, the journey continued successfully towards Dallas-Fort Worth, where they landed on May 23. The Phoenix-Dallas leg was the longest of the 2013 Across America mission and set a new absolute world distance record in solar aviation. They continued their mission towards St. Louis, where they landed on June 4. Just a few days before, multiple tornadoes touched down in the St. Louis region and caused damage to several buildings at the airport, including the hangar reserved for Solar Impulse. For this reason, the team inaugurated the use of the inflatable mobile hangar for the first time. With a pit stop in Cincinnati, Solar Impulse arrived in Washington, D.C. on Sunday, June 16. The flight was split in two because of the strong cross and headwinds in St. Louis, which made it impossible for the pilot to reach Washington, D.C. in one go in less than 24 hours, which is the limit set for the pilot in the cramped single-seater cockpit. The U.S. Capitol brings Bertrand Piccard and André Boschberg a step closer to accomplishing the coast-to-coast crossing of the USA, with New York City as the final destination. Landing there is expected late June, early July.
Today with me in the studio, 3 gentlemen from our R&D and new technology departments. Hello, gentlemen. You're involved in the Solar Impulse project and you're all working for the Solar Impulse project, so that makes us very interested in what you're actually doing. You have been developing the SIA plane. That's the first plane that has been built, that's now flying across America, and you're also heavily involved in the SIB plane, which will be flying across the world. So if I may start with you, Christian, you have been part of the configuration and construction team. What has been your main task within Solar Impulse?
So I worked in the configuration and structure team. We designed there all the carbon parts in the airplane, and these are quite a lot of parts, as you can imagine. So I was heavily involved in the construction of the wing. You know, the wing has a rectangular spar, and then it has ribs which give the shape of the wing. And I was heavily involved in the design and in the calculation and also in the testing of these ribs. These ribs were designed in sandwich construction, which we know also from the elevator industry, but we went there really to the limits.
Martin, being part of the energy and propulsion team, what has been your special task at the Solar Impulse project?
Well, the EMP team does not only cover propulsion, but also all other electric and electronic devices of the plane, like avionics, telemetry, or communication. My main tasks so far have been testing drivers and motors and analyzing the results. Then I dealt a lot with the autopilot, since the new plane will have an autopilot. And at the moment I'm working on software developing for processing logged files, logged data of the plane.
Andrea, what has been your main task within the Solar Impulse project?
I was part of the structural design team, and there my task was to design the component of the new airplane. These components are made of carbon or sandwich structure, and there is very important that you could save weight, because saving weight reduces the energy consumption.
Thank you, Andrea. So quite a versatile project, Martin. If you have a look at what you're doing there, what do you think are your major learnings, and what are the major learnings especially for Schindler?
Well, there are technical similarities between Schindler and Solar Impulse, like the use of batteries, motors, LED lights, and so on. These items are very specifically developed for Solar Impulse, but for Schindler it's still good to know what's possible and how to get these technologies. But even more important is the energy efficiency, which will play a big role for Schindler too, and also to try out new things and be courageous.
Christian, major learnings for Schindler, especially when you think of a daily work routine, what can you transfer to your job?
For me, it was really dealing with these composite materials, not in theory, but in practice. So you can read a book about these materials, you can read journals, you can go at the conference, but this will never replace really working with these materials. So designing, calculating, and especially then testing these materials and see how they behave in connection with your calculation and your design. So we saw the benefits, we saw the limits, and we saw also the ways how we can develop these materials further that they suit our requirements.
We have seen many new things, new technologies, new materials, and there is actually, it will help us in our daily work at R&D, because we need some inputs, we need some simulation to think about new application, new technology to shape the future elevators, to shape the new concept of mobility.
So if you think of this very special project and about all that you have been learning and experiences now, what makes it really special for you as a person?
Only the fact that no one did this before makes it very special. It's the first solar airplane which can fly through day and night without any fuel and with a pilot, so it's a pioneering project.
I think it's the challenge to make something completely new which has never been done before. I mean, one could argue a solar airplane will never replace Airbus 380 or something like that. But this thinking is extremely dangerous, as it let us stay in the beaten tracks. And we should really let the human curiosity and creativity flow freely, and to look at problems from a completely other perspective, and then we get solutions which can help us to bring us forward.
Okay, for me the message is important in this project. One could build a plane that is able to fly without energy, and this means that we are able to use the technology and make a sustainable airplane. So why don't we do in other way in other fields? For me, it's a matter of willing, that the people that want to, they have to push this technology and apply in other sectors. And for this is also important that Schindler is also proud to be part of this project.
Well, I think it is something Schindler and all its employees can be proud of, and you especially being so heavily involved in this project. Thank you for being with us, and hope to talk to you soon and get more insights about what you're doing there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Being fascinated about this pioneering spirit and what Solar Impulse is achieving at the moment in its flight across America, we have been inviting two product experts to tell us more how Schindler is transferring all this knowledge into new products. So together with me today in the studio are Mario Hegli and Matthias Schiller, and they will tell us more about the solar elevator and what you can expect from it and when it's going to be introduced in the various markets.
I would say there were two major dimensions which affected and which inspired the solar elevator development. The first one is the pioneering spirit to go new ways, to take innovation a step ahead. And the second is the renewable energy supply. So to find ways how we can operate our elevators cleaner. In this case, it was the sunlight, and this is what we took and brought into our products. Well, let me pick three of them. The first one, high availability. We have two energy sources, by that maximizing the availability and the uptime during the operation. So all of the passengers can be safe, that they can run with this elevator all of the time. The second is the clean energy balance. Also linked to the two energy sources, the grid and of course the sunlight, we maximize the clean energy supply during the operation with sunlight. And the third one is the easy building integration. This is a standard product. It's been designed that you can easily plan it and just, let's say, plug it into the building. Yes, this has the same energy efficiency features. So it's standby mode, efficient control, efficient inverters. But on top, we have a new technology, which we call the hybrid power manager. Well, the solar elevator not only reduces energy consumption with its technology that can also be found in our regular products, so to make them very efficient, to use energy efficient, it also replaces the source of the energy with sunlight, so with clean energy.
Our main objective was to create a sustainable and affordable solution for our customers. Where we have as basis the Schindler 3300. Our main benefits, or one of the main benefits, is also for the customer to have a single-phase connection to the building. For the customer, this actually means that he can reduce the installation cost tremendously. On the other hand, you can actually plug in your elevator just as simple as a coffee machine. With our defined scope, 9 passengers, 1 meter per second and up to 10 stops, 30 meters travel height. We cover up to 80% of this residential market with the solar elevator. With the solar elevator, we are actually able to provide to our customer 3 different operational modes. We have the plug-in mode, we have the solar dedicated and the solar integrated. With the plug-in mode, we can offer the single phase, the hybrid power manager, which includes the energy storage device. Second is the solar dedicated. With the solar dedicated, we have PV panels, photovoltaic panels on the rooftop, mainly for our elevator. The third one, which is the solar integrated, integrates our solar elevator into a system of solar PV panels on top of the roof, which can also be used for other appliances in this building. Let me give you an example. Here in Ebikon, our headquarters in Switzerland, we actually have a solar elevator installed where we have 3 commercially available solar panels on top of the roof. With the solar panels, our hybrid power manager and the recuperation, we actually can achieve 60 to 70% covered by the solar, 10% by recuperation, the rest from the grid. Easily you see we have actually 2/3 covered by green energy. And let me tell you, we don't have the sunniest weather here in Ebikon either. The first installations actually are up and running in Europe. The next ones are on its way. And further introduction in various markets will happen in the next couple of months.
Many thanks again for watching this webcast and for being with us. The next webcast will be coming directly from New York, where Solar Impulse is about to accomplish its mission with the landing in New York City. So, hope to see you soon, and goodbye.